Look, I'm not sure about you guys, but my goal is to stay as level-headed, grounded, stoic, and connected with God more so than ever before, and to ultimately never have to work a 9 to 5 again. And the reason being is because in today's day and age, there's a lot of doomers. Don't fall for the doomer crap, okay? Don't fall for the doomer crap. And there's a lot of scams going on. In fact, I'm pretty sure most everything is a scam at this point, from universities to health insurance to car insurance, car payments, mortgages, you name it, it's probably a scam at this point. And there's only a few ways that you can determine whether something isn't a scam or not. And hell, even a 9 to 5 is probably a scam in some ways. In fact, I don't even think that it is. I know it. I know that a 9 to 5 is a scam, and it's only been around, careers have only been around for a couple hundred years, if that, since the Industrial Revolution. And the reason being was because, well, we needed people to work in the industries, in the factories, the factory industry, I should say. And people needed to work. They needed to go and get that bread, right? And soon things have become more automated than ever, or they will become more automated than ever. Things are already becoming so vastly different. Like, I'm 28 years old. I'm 28, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt, 15 years ago, I remember things being a lot different. A lot different. In fact, even just 10 years ago, the world really changed from 2013 and COVID. Something happened in 2013. I'm not sure if it was the Mayan calendar saying that, time is ending in 2012. I think that could have been probably for a couple of reasons, because they didn't have enough room on the stone that they were using or whatnot to map the calendar out. Or it could be the mark and a symbol of a new era. And that's a possibility as well. Now, I don't necessarily follow what the Mayans say or anything like that, but it is strange how in 2013 things began to change quite a bit. That was really the rise of feminism. That was really the rise of a lot of different kinds of eye-opening things that were going on in the world that we didn't really want to accept. And now, here we are, and I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, because again, I'm not a doomer. But when you look around at everything going on, it sure can seem like things are a bit down, and the best thing that we can do is to make light of the situation. Okay, to make light of the situation and do what we can to still live a fulfilled life in here. And that only comes by growing close to the source of creation, growing close to God, and living with God. And so what I've seen a lot of people do with the doomer content and such is how times are coming to an end, and it's the end of times, and it's like, look, it might be the end of times, but I don't think the end of times are going to necessarily be determined by what the external world is doing. I think it's going to be more determined by what godly people are up to and how godly people are behaving amongst themselves. If godly people are behaving amongst themselves in a way where things are not necessarily being able to coexist with one another, even though they're both godly people, I think that says more about the end of times than if Satan's doing his work in the world, because the devil is the prince of this world, and the devil is the ruler of this world. Don't get it twisted, okay? And there's a lot of ways to make money in the world. There's a lot of ways to put yourself out there in the world nowadays as well. But there's also a lot of ways to sell your soul. And I see people on here, either on YouTube or TikTok or whatever Instagram, whatever social media you want to see, and they're just doing trends. Like, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views with just doing trends for like husbands and wives and such. These husbands and wives, speaking of which, the wives of these husbands dressing like they're single And it's all for the views, right? It's all for the content. It's all for the money. Like, hey, you know, if showing off your wife a little bit is going to get you some views and some cash, apparently that's the cool thing to do nowadays. Apparently that's the cool thing to do. People are just willing to sell their whatever to get some cash. And you see the OnlyFans girls moving over to YouTube, like I mentioned in a video not too long ago. You know, there's all of these different avenues that are being taken for people that have done terrible things to continue to live off of those things. I was doing some research earlier and I found this YouTube, or it was a TikTok video of this lady, and she was a single mom, former OnlyFans worker, okay, former OF worker, and guess what? She had a neck tattoo and all of these other tattoos and all these piercings and such as a single mom, and this former OF worker had on the title of her video, and she didn't say anything, she just was dancing to some music and such in the background. And in the video, the title of the video and the text said, all of the people saying how life is never going to work out for you after you do what you did, and now you're a single mom. And she's dancing and she's like pointing at you, crying your eyes out. And it's like, you look at the comments, a bunch of freaking simps, man, a bunch of freaking simps. Like thousands of comments and millions of views on this lady. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely could not believe how many simps were telling her how great she is and how amazing she. This lady's got a neck tattoo, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust anybody with a neck tattoo, or like, I don't know what the hell the trend is with face tattoos and such recently. I don't get it. But apparently this is something that's been going viral. Like, I don't know why people are doing these things. I don't know why people are going through all this stuff to just look different. You know, somebody in one of my comments recently on one of my videos, or it was their comment on one of my videos recently, somebody said he's been on the channel for a long time. Shout out to this guy if he's watching. He said, like, at what point, when you're the only one with with no tattoos in the room, at what point do you become the rebel, or something like that? I thought that was a good quote and a good comment, because it's so true. I go out and about, and I live in a pretty conservative, quote unquote, place. I'm in northern Utah in the United States, okay? And to see how much people are just like throwing their bodies away. When the Bible says that the body is a temple, when Jesus talks about the importance of the mind, body, and soul, what the body is a temple means is that you are doing and living your life in a way that is enhancing the inner qualities, and that's reflecting on the outer qualities. It's like when you get a tattoo or all these excessive piercings and such, what that is basically saying is basically like you are putting a bunch of, like decals on a beautiful building or something like that. Like you are putting bumper stickers on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something. I don't know, just some kind of nice car, like some nice thing. You're just putting meh all over it. It's like going to a temple. Anybody that's seen a temple, right? It's like spray painting a temple, man. That's what a tattoo and excessive piercings do to your body, okay? But look, again, I'm not necessarily a doomer, but there's a lot of people making some weird ass decisions, man. There's some weird decisions going on, and like we can't help it. We can't do too much about it apart from just live our lives and live in accordance to God's will to the best of our ability. Oh man, that breeze feels nice. The weather is finally like starting to cool down a bit now. So in the mornings and the evenings, it's beautiful. Anyway, I'm not a doomer, but there's a lot of things to be doomy about, right? There's a lot of things to just wonder about. There's a lot of things to consider. But all that we can do really is to make sure that we're building our skill set, that we're living our life with God, that we're in a relationship with Him, and that He's at the forefront of our life, and that the Most High, and doing everything that we can for the Most High, there's no going wrong when you do that. When you follow God's will for you, there's no going wrong. Even if it seems like you're not doing the right thing, even though it seems like you're not doing what you want to be doing right now, like you might be overthinking a lot of things. This is what I see a lot of times with smart people. I've worked with some really smart people in my consultations, like really smart. And it's almost like I've seen that their overthinking gets the best of them in a weird way. Like they're so smart that they almost talk themselves out of doing the things that they need to. And they do it very convincingly. Like they're very convincing when they're talking themselves out of doing something instead of just doing it. And I get that. I understand what that's like. But there comes a point to where you're not going to be able to manifest whatever it is you're trying to create in your life until you just let go and let your mind roam free and let your heart be what it needs to be and feel what you need to feel to get through whatever it is you need to. And I'm not saying you should trust your heart more than your logic, but I'm not necessarily saying that you should do away with your feelings and your thinking, or for the sake of your thinking, because feeling and thinking are two abilities within yourself that are must have for you to really move beyond that which is hindering you from living a more successful life and a more prosperous life. All right? And all these jobs out here, like, screw these people, man. Like, screw these people. They don't want to really see, like, it's all about the money, okay? It comes down to that. People are outsourcing more than ever. People are doing automation more than ever. Look, I get it. Get your money where you can, get your cheese where you can, get your bread where you can. But trust that God will provide your daily bread, not money itself. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.